Let's be honest. Most men are walking around completely blind to the reality of how women communicate. You're likely waiting for a woman to walk up to you, look you in the eyes, and say the exact words, I have feelings for you. But here is the reality check you need. That almost never happens. In the world of high stakes attraction, direct confessions are rare because they carry the risk of rejection. Instead, women communicate through a sophisticated, hidden language of verbal cues and psychological test balloons. These are subtle shifts in how she speaks, the topics she chooses, and the emotional weight behind her words. She isn't going to hand you a map. She's going to drop breadcrumbs to see if you're man enough to notice the trail and lead the way. When a woman starts catching feelings, her entire communication style undergoes a massive transformation. She stops treating you like a casual acquaintance and begins treating you like a primary character in her life. This is the moment she moves away from safe, polite small talk about the weather or work and shifts toward deep emotional investment. She starts using specific phrases designed to test your awareness and gauge your interest. If you're oblivious to these shifts, you're missing the window of opportunity. You're letting the tension die out because you're waiting for a sign that has actually been flashing in front of you for weeks. The problem is that most guys mistake these deep emotional signals for just being nice or casual conversation. They miss the forest for the trees. By the time they realize she was interested, she's already moved on because she assumes they weren't interested in her. I want to make sure that never happens to you again. You need to understand that when her vocabulary changes, it's an invitation for you to step up. It's a signal that she feels safe enough to let her guard down, and she's waiting to see if you'll pick up what she's putting down. In this video, I'm pulling back the curtain on the psychology of female attraction. I'm breaking down the top 8 things a woman says only when she is genuinely falling for you. We're going to look at the exact phrases that indicate she's moving from maybe to definitely. By the end of this, you'll stop the guessing games, stop the overthinking, and start leading with total confidence. You'll know exactly where you stand, whether she's just being friendly or if she's secretly hoping you'll take things to the next level. Before we dive into these 8 game-changing signs, make sure to subscribe to The Hidden Her for your daily dose of deep psychology and dating insights. Now, let's get into the first sign. When a woman looks you in the eyes or sends a text saying, I love talking to you, you need to understand that she isn't just giving you a polite compliment on your speaking skills. She is making a profound statement about the emotional chemistry between you. In today's fast paced digital world, most social interactions are incredibly draining, shallow, and filled with awkward silences or forced small talk. Most people are just waiting for their turn to speak rather than actually listening. So when she singles you out as someone she loves talking to, she's telling you that you have become her mental sanctuary. You are the person she turns to when she wants to escape the noise of the world, because conversations with you don't feel like work, they feel like a release. The deeper meaning here is that you are providing a specific type of psychological value that she isn't finding anywhere else. It's not just about the words you're saying, it's about the vibe and the space you've created for her. Whether it's your sharp wit that keeps her on her toes, your unique insights that challenge her way of thinking, or simply the rare gift of your undivided attention, she has started to view her time with you as a refresh button for her entire day. When she's stressed, tired, or bored, her brain instinctively seeks you out because she knows that interacting with you will leave her feeling better than she did before. You've moved past the getting to know you phase and into a territory where your presence provides her with a genuine emotional high. The most obvious sign that she's falling for you through these conversations is the sheer effortlessness of the dialogue. You'll notice that the two of you can jump from debating deep, complex philosophy to laughing hysterically over a stupid inside joke or a random meme without a single second of awkwardness. There is no performance happening here. Neither of you is struggling to find the next topic because the connection is doing the heavy lifting for you. When a woman is catching feelings, she will often reach out to just chat with no specific agenda or question. If she's texting you about a random thought she had or calling you just to hear your voice, it's because she's looking for that specific hit of dopamine and comfort that only your company provides. This level of engagement is a massive indicator of romantic potential because it proves that you are intellectually and emotionally compatible. She isn't just attracted to your look or your status, she is attracted to your mind and the way you make her feel when the two of you are in your own little bubble. If she consistently tells you how much she enjoys your talks, she is essentially inviting you to keep taking up space in her head and her heart. She's signaling that the communication lines are wide open, and she's waiting to see how much deeper you're willing to go. Don't just dismiss this as a friendly remark. Recognize it as a sign that you have become a highlight of her life, and use that momentum to lead the relationship forward. When a woman looks at you and says, "You always make me laugh," she isn't just giving you a compliment on your sense of humor. She is handing you a golden key to her emotional world. You need to understand that humor is quite literally the shortest distance between two people. It is a psychological bridge that bypasses all the walls, guards, and social defenses people usually carry. When you make her laugh, you aren't just telling a joke, you are triggering a chemical reaction in her brain. Laughter releases a flood of endorphins and dopamine, the body's natural feel good chemicals. By being the source of that joy, you are conditioning her brain to associate your face, your voice, and your presence with an immediate emotional high. You are just a guy she knows. You have become a reliable source of happiness in her life. The deeper meaning behind this phrase is that your vibe is in perfect alignment with hers. This is one of the strongest indicators of high level compatibility that exists. Think about it. Humor is deeply personal. What one person finds hilarious, another might find boring or offensive. If she genuinely thinks you are funny, it means your perspectives on life, your ironies, and your observations about the world match up with her own internal logic. It shows that you get each other on a level that doesn't require an explanation. When she says you always make her laugh, she's admitting that you have a direct line to her heart, and she's comfortable enough to let you in. She is telling you that her time with you is never a chore, it's a highlight. The most powerful sign to look for here is the development of inside jokes. These are the secret codes of a blossoming relationship. When the two of you have a shared language of humor, a single word, a look, or a reference that no one else in the room understands, you have successfully built a private world together. This world of two is the absolute foundation of a lasting emotional bond. It creates a sense of us against the world that is incredibly intoxicating for a woman catching feelings. It's no longer just about the jokes themselves, it's about the fact that you two are on a unique frequency that no one else can tune into. That exclusivity is a major driver of attraction and intimacy. The reason this works so effectively boils down to emotional intelligence. When you use humor, you are proving to her that you don't take yourself or life too seriously. This signals to her that you are a resilient, grounded man who can handle the stresses of life with a smirk rather than a breakdown. It shows you have the social awareness to read her mood and the creativity to flip a mundane situation into something memorable. By making her laugh, you are demonstrating that you have the power to change her emotional state for the better. This makes her feel safe, seen, and deeply connected to you. If she's laughing at your jokes, she's already halfway to giving you her heart. So don't take that laughter lightly. It's the sound of a woman falling for you. When a woman sends you a text or tells you to your face, "I was just thinking about you," you need to stop what you're doing and realize exactly what just happened. This is the ultimate, undeniable indicator of what people call living rent free in someone's head. It is a massive psychological milestone in the journey of attraction. Most men think that a woman only likes them if they are actively hanging out or talking. But the real magic happens in the space between your interactions. If she sends you a message saying she saw a specific car, heard a certain song, or walked past a coffee shop that reminded her of you, she is telling you that you have officially moved from being just a person she sees to a person who is deeply integrated into the fabric of her daily life. You are no longer just a guy she knows. You have become a part of her internal world. The deeper meaning here is that you have become a permanent fixture in her subconscious mind. Her brain is no longer waiting for you to initiate contact. It is actively looking for excuses to bring you into her reality. Whether it's a random meme that matches your sense of humor, a scent in the air that reminds her of your cologne, or a scene in a movie that sounds like a story you told her, her subconscious is scanning her environment for triggers that lead back to you. When she reaches out to tell you this, she is admitting that you are occupying her thoughts during her most private, quiet moments. This is a sign of high level emotional investment because it shows that your brand, who you are, what you say, and how you make her feel, has made such a strong impact that she can't help but think of you, even when you aren't physically there to remind her. The most telling sign of this attraction is when these messages come completely out of nowhere. Pay close attention to the timing. If she's texting you at 2 p.m. on a busy Tuesday or late at night when she's winding down, it proves that you are her default thought when her mind is free to wander. It shows that she's thinking about you during her off time, which is the most valuable real estate you can own in a woman's mind. Most people are forgotten the second they leave the room, but if she's taking the time to report her thoughts to you, she is essentially saying, I miss your presence, and I'm finding ways to bring you back into my day. She is inviting you to see that she's already emotionally connected to you on a level that goes far beyond the casual friendship. When you receive this kind of signal, you have to understand the power you hold in that moment. She is being vulnerable by admitting that she has been dwelling on you. She is testing the waters to see if you'll reciprocate that level of interest or if you'll just give a boring, haha, cool response. This is your cue to lead and deepen that connection. Recognize that by being a part of her thoughts, you are already halfway to being a part of her heart. This out of nowhere communication is her way of bridging the gap between your separate lives and creating a shared reality where you are always on her mind. Don't take it for granted. Take it as a clear sign that she is falling for you and waiting for you to acknowledge the bond you've built. When a woman looks you in the eyes and says, I appreciate you, you need to understand that this is vastly different and much deeper than a simple thank you. We live in a fast paced, thankless world where most people are self absorbed and only notice what others can do for them. In this environment, genuine gratitude is one of the most significant signs of emotional affection a woman can give. She isn't just thanking you for a specific favor or a door you held open. She is making a profound statement about your character and your value as a man. She is telling you that she sees the essence of who you are, and more importantly, she values the impact you have on her life. It is a sign that she has moved past the surface level and is now looking at the quality of your soul. The true meaning behind this phrase is that she is witnessing you in a way that most people never will. To be witnessed is to be truly seen, not just for your outward success, but for the effort you put into the world every single day. When she expresses appreciation, she's acknowledging your work ethic, the integrity with which you treat others, and the unique way you show up to support her when she's at her most vulnerable. She is signaling that she doesn't take your presence for granted. By using the word appreciate, she is literally saying that your value in her life is increasing, much like a prized asset. She has reached a point where she recognizes that you are a rare find, and she wants to make sure you know that your efforts are not going unnoticed. The most powerful sign to watch for is when she begins to notice the small things, the tiny, mundane details that most people completely overlook. If she thanks you for the way you handled a stressful situation with a stranger, the way you remembered a small detail about her favorite drink, or the consistency with which you keep your word, she is showing you that she is paying incredibly close attention to you. You don't pay that much attention to someone unless you care deeply about them. This level of observation is a byproduct of her growing affection. She is studying you because she is invested in you. When she highlights these minor gestures, she is reinforcing the bond between you and encouraging you to keep being the man she is clearly falling for. This type of validation is incredibly magnetic because it proves she is a woman who values high quality character over superficial traits. By telling you she appreciates you, she is creating a safe, positive feedback loop that makes you want to be an even better version of yourself. It shows she has the emotional maturity to recognize a good man when she sees one and the courage to voice it. This is her way of building a foundation of mutual respect and admiration, which is the bedrock of any long term successful relationship. If she is consistently vocal about her appreciation, she isn't just being polite. She is claiming you as a significant part of her world and signaling that she is ready for a deeper level of commitment. Don't just nod and move on. Recognize that she is opening her heart by showing you how much she values yours.